I will make this as clear as possible. My mother had a fund that was supposed to be for both grandchildren. She told me multiple times it was for both of the kids. She also informed the girls that they had money. She passed away unexpectedly. My oldest, named Shelley, was the only one on the fund, and it's legally hers. She didn't share it with her sister, Grace, and she has a huge head start in life with it. Due to this money, she's been able to go to college debt-free and will buy a house soon. My husband and I have been scrambling to give as much money as possible to Grace since she really got screwed over. Even with all our help, she still needs to take out student loans. Grace is working while in college, and she found a student job that provides free housing. The issue is that she needs a car for it. So my husband and I will buy her a car because turning down this job will result in a ton of extra debt for her. Shelley found out about us getting the car and was angry. She's upset with us for favoring Grace and never got a car from us. I pointed out that she doesn't need help financially at all. We argued for a while and I'd had enough. I told her that if she paid for her sister's college, I would stop favoring her with money. She called me a jerk and isn't responding. Am I the idiot for telling my daughter if she pays for her sister's college, then I'll stop favoring her sister with my money? Edit. According to my mother's partner, she had the money together to build it up more and was going to split it, $450,000 when my oldest went to college. She died before that. We've discussed it multiple times. Shelley was 17 when she got her inheritance. It had a block, so I couldn't touch it, which was fine. It was supposed to be for the girls. We thought she would be kind and split it with her sister. She didn't, and it basically messed up her relationship with the family. As she puts it, it's hers legally. I don't need to share. Our other option would be to fight her claim, but we didn't have the money for that. She knows we all disapprove of her choice with it, especially since she knows Grandma wanted it shared. They're full sisters and have the same parents. Your eldest was given almost $500,000, and she's complaining you're buying her broke sister a car? Not the idiot. Your older daughter was very selfish not to split the money, knowing it was what her grandmother wanted. It's one thing to keep an inheritance your family member fully intended to be just for you without sharing, but this feels very wrong. I would be disappointed in her, and it would be hard to forgive. I can't imagine this isn't going to destroy a lot of relationships in the family. My jaw hit the floor on that amount. To be quite honest and blunt, Shelley sounds like a complete idiot. I wonder if Grace is aware of this amount. Shelley hit the lottery and is complaining about a used car her sister will get? OP, go tell Shelley she spent her money how she saw fit and didn't honor her grandmother's wishes to share. Now you're going to spend your money how you see fit, and you're doing it to make up for Shelley's greed. Tell her that. $500,000? How have you not disowned or disinherited your daughter? I'd be more proud of a child with a stable job than a rich, go-no-contact daughter who'd sell her soul and sister's future for luxury in a family that clearly isn't destitute. And now she whines about her sister getting anything. What a greedy piece of work. Your younger daughter must sue the older one and have you and your husband as witnesses. To all saying it can't be done, it all depends on the state and the probate term limits. Suppose everyone knows Grandma was going to amend the will, but passed away. In that case, it's grounds for contesting, but time is sensitive. You raised a thief. I'm amazed she even has your number. I, 24 female, am very unhappy with the whole situation. My childhood best friend, Libby, 22 female, has a red-tailed black cockatoo named Carrot Cake. She's had him since she was 5, so she is very attached to him. She only went to a community college to stay home and be near Carrot Cake. All our mutual friends love Carrot Cake, and so do I. We all used to just hang out at Libby's house, mostly when we were kids, just to be by Carrot Cake. My boyfriend, Lincoln, 26 male, loves birds. He owned a few small ones. I did tell him about Carrot Cake. He did get intrigued and interested. He wanted to meet Carrot Cake. We have only been dating for 2 months and he hasn't met Libby. He's only met a few of my other friends. He did ask questions. I assumed he was only intrigued and didn't think much of it. Libby did ask me to watch Carrot Cake as she's visiting her grandparents in another state. I did agree. This wasn't my first time. Libby dropped Carrot Cake off, and he's been doing great. He's very loving, been very active. I let him fly around. I did invite Lincoln over as he was staying the night. He invited his best friend, Maxon. Both were playing games and doing their own thing. I was napping during the whole thing, until I heard loud squatting and wings flapping like crazy. I woke up and walked into my office to see Lincoln trying to grab Carrot Cake. Maxon was standing there just watching. It was very obvious that Carrot Cake was stressed. I scolded both of them and asked them why they were in my office bothering Carrot Cake. Lincoln told me he wanted to hold Carrot Cake. I told him he's unfamiliar to you or Maxon, so he's scared. Lincoln tried to argue, but I told him to go to the living room. I told Maxon to leave. I had made sure Carrot Cake was okay, and he was. I put him in his cage and made sure to cover it so he could sleep. I locked my office and had the keys in my room with me. I told Lincoln not to go into my office without me. I just went back to sleep and asked Lincoln to go to sleep, so we both did. I woke up to my boyfriend gone and my keys misplaced. I tried calling him, but he didn't answer. I went to check on Carrot Cake to see he was not there. I freaked out and just knew Lincoln had him. I called and texted him until he answered. I told him to please tell me he had Carrot Cake, and he did. I asked why, and he said he wanted to watch Carrot Cake for a day. I just hung up and drove straight to his house. Once I got there, I knocked like crazy and told him to open it. He opened it slightly, but I barged in and got Carrot Cake. Lincoln was just telling me I couldn't barge in. I just walked by him and drove back home. I did tell Libby about the whole thing, and she was grateful I got Carrot Cake back safely, but we're also very distraught about the whole situation. Lincoln and his friends messaged me that I couldn't just barge into someone's home. I feel like I did the right thing, though. Am I the idiot? So you can't just barge into someone's home, but it's okay for him to take off with someone else's bird? What the heck? Tell him if the messages don't stop, you will report his actions to the police. You did what you had to do. Don't let these idiots make you feel bad about it. Not the idiot, but I hope you mean ex-boyfriend now. I would never trust him again. This is insidious and oafish behavior. He sounds slimy, sneaky, and dumb. You need to run. He probably wanted to sell the poor little guy. Considering the breed price, though, it puts it into felony theft, so he could still be in deep crap if she had gotten the cops involved. Sweetie, how many red flags do you need? Lincoln is a low-down, dirty thief. End of story. Seriously, I just Googled the price out of curiosity. That bird is worth up to $40,000, and there's no way he wasn't planning on selling it. If anything, it's underdramatic, because what else is stopping him from doing anything else? What else is preventing him from stealing OP's social, her credit card info, logging into her computer and putting in a key logger or other spyware, putting in hidden cameras, making duplicates of her keys? There's no possible way to understate just how dangerous someone like that can be. I would not trust that man with a handful of sand in the desert. I'm 55 years old, and I've been married for 35 years. I have one child, a daughter who's 32 years old. I'll call her Alice, and she's been with John for 10 years and married for 4 years. Alice has always wanted children, but they held off for a while to focus on their careers. She recently told us they were going to start trying to get pregnant. I love my daughter and feel I've always been a good father to her, but I admit she and my wife have always had a special bond. This past weekend, we went out to dinner with some friends and had a few drinks. When we got home, we had a few glasses of wine. I point this out because my wife rarely drinks, so she's a lightweight. She was tipsy, and we were talking about potentially becoming grandparents, and she made a comment about Alice's marriage that caught my attention. She said they've overcome a lot in the marriage, but then stopped herself and didn't continue. This made me curious because they'd only been married for 4 years, and I wasn't aware of any roadblocks they had encountered. Not that they share everything with us. I pressed her on what she meant, and finally she confessed that 1 year into the marriage, my daughter cheated with a coworker. She tearfully confessed this to my wife a week after it happened because she supposedly felt so guilty. She begged her not to say anything, and she kept her word until now. I was blown away because I didn't think she would ever do something like that. I don't know all the details. She got flirty with a coworker, and eventually they slept together once. Then she stopped it and has apparently been faithful ever since. I did feel some slight guilt because I knew my wife wouldn't have told me if she was sober, and I wonder if I should not have pressed her on it. But I can't undo what I learned. I should now point out that when I was a lot younger, I was with someone who cheated on me. I have zero tolerance for cheaters due to that, so I might be biased. John's also like a son to me and my wife. She asked me not to say anything, and it's confused me. When she said that they had overcome a lot, and I found out what happened, I assumed John eventually found out and they worked through it. But no, all she meant was that Alice grew as a person and became a better wife. I didn't push her any further. I let her go to bed. I had not had as much to drink, so I stayed up all night thinking. I decided then and there that either my daughter would have to confess or I would tell John. Not only does he have a right to know, but I'd never be able to interact with him normally knowing this secret. I do love my daughter, and I also worry about the potential fallout because she's trying to get pregnant. What if John finds out after the baby's born? I felt like he had a right to know. I would not keep it a secret if I found out that John cheated on her. The next day was Sunday, and I knew I needed to talk to my daughter. My wife was against this, but I did end up having her come over the next day. It did not go well. First, she blew up at her mother for telling me. Then she yelled at me when I told her either she should confess or I was telling John. She said it was none of my business, etc. I disagreed. John is part of the family. She said I would destroy her life if I did this. She'd hate me, etc. She stormed out. Well, I did tell John, and the fallout is tremendous. John packed his bags and left the home the next day. He's apparently refusing to try counseling and intends to pursue divorce. Everyone hates me. My daughter hates me, and my wife is also not my wife. All our family members say I overstepped. I've spoken to some of my friends, and they said I blew up my relationship with my daughter over this. The only one showing me any kindness was John, who thanked me for telling him. My wife isn't on my side. I suspect this is because she was hoping for grandchildren. We both were. I just feel like I didn't blow up their relationship. Alice is the one who cheated and lied. I love her to death, and now I wonder if I made the right choice. Should I have just kept this to myself? I've always been friendly with John, and we have dinner with them at least once a month, not including holidays or birthdays. I know I could not interact normally around him, so what should I have done? Ban them both from my home without explanation? Never go to their home again? And if they have children, my wife will definitely want us over there more often, so I don't think I could hide this. I suck at poker. I can't just fake it. So should I have kept quiet? And I guess also I'm wrong for being upset my wife isn't on my side. OP, morally you did the right thing. Personally, your daughter might never forgive you. Heck, your wife might not either. You did what was best for John, but with everything in life, there's the other shoe. By doing the best for John, 2 other people fell in pain. They may deserve it, but you must live with the fallout. You mean pain that they themselves caused. OP didn't cheat. Daughter did. Though OP may have alienated most people in his life, the secret would have eaten him alive. Even without him revealing this secret, this may have come out eventually after many years, after too many drinks. John would have been more devastated after knowing everyone was keeping this secret. Honestly, I'd be wondering if there's anything else your wife has been hiding. How could she look at your son-in-law and spend time with him, knowing your daughter had cheated and not feel bad? Because we usually have a hierarchy of people in our life. If you have children, they usually are your number one in the world. As a consequence, people will always prioritize them against the in-laws. OP's an idiot. The daughter did wrong, no doubt, but the mother cared and cares more about her than about the cheating. OP has destroyed the relationship of the mother with her daughter. So yes, most parents would be more furious about this than about the son or daughter having cheated. This is a moral hill OP decided to die on, but I think it's very likely it'll cost him his marriage. It's a very real possibility. My daughter, kindergartner, is having a birthday later this month. We have a trip coming up, so we decided to have her birthday party last Saturday instead. When we got home after the party, we helped our daughter open her gifts. The only ones she didn't open were the ones we realized were jewelry or clothing. She doesn't care about those, only the toys, which my husband and I opened without her. Those were primarily gifted by family members. The jewelry department mainly consisted of necklaces and bracelets. The sole exception was a pair of earrings my father and his wife gifted. My daughter's ears aren't pierced. We didn't pierce them when she was born, nor do we intend on doing so anytime soon. We want to let her decide when she wants to, and she's never expressed any interest. So my husband and I knew we'd be exchanging the earrings. Usually, we don't tell people we're exchanging a gift they bought for us. This time is different. My stepmother has bugged me about piercing my daughter's ears since she was born. There's always a different reason why. First, it was because people wouldn't know she was a girl if we didn't. Then it turned into she'll get jealous of her friends and so on. But she always makes this point that girls need to have their ears pierced. She brings it up almost every time we see her. My father usually doesn't comment on it, but has backed her up several times. Also, my stepmother has never complained about my older son's appearance, so I know this is rooted in misogyny. When my father called us the next day to ask what we thought of the earrings, I told him they looked nice. My stepmother joined in and asked, "So, you're getting her ears pierced?" I tried to dodge the question, but she later asked it again, so I told them no. I looked at the store's website and found a matching necklace for which we'll exchange the earrings. There's a price difference, but I'll cover it. Well, they weren't happy. Apparently, my stepmother started crying. My father told me off for thinking about exchanging a thoughtful gift that he bought for his granddaughter and said it was wrong of me to dismiss my stepmother's opinions like that. In return, I told them I couldn't take her insistence anymore and that she needed to stop obsessing over my daughter's ears. It escalated into a fight. My husband, while 100% on my side otherwise, thinks I didn't need to tell them. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Honestly, I'd never let them babysit your daughter unsupervised because of that level of insistence. Your stepmother pushed. This is a more than reasonable boundary. No, you will not be piercing your daughter's ears. It wasn't a gift. It was an attempt at manipulation. Even if it were his side of the family, your husband would be out of line here. This is an example of needing to tell them that the gift was inappropriate because they knew full well it was. It's not their kid, so they don't get to decide anything about parenting her. Get your stepmother a gift she can't use and see how she likes it. Tell her you think she needs to take up scuba diving and get her a dive mask. All gifts going forward are things she can't use, and when she questions it, you can tell her that it's a thoughtful gift and that you've decided she needs to get into scuba diving. LOL, what a joke. How are pierced earrings for someone without pierced ears a thoughtful gift? You weren't being rude. You were rejecting rudeness. They jammed their foot in your closing door like a pushy salesman who wouldn't accept no for an answer. You're removing the foot so the door can be closed.